So here's my new project. It's a computer. Ta-da! What's important about this, or what's important to me about this, is I had a need for something kind of a little bit different, a little bit more, I guess, unique. It didn't have to be unique, but what the deal is lately. I guess you'd say I'm getting a little bit upset with things like the way Windows 10 is working, a lot of cloud-based software that charges annually or monthly, and it's finally gotten me to the point to where I really want to try to get over to Linux, at least to some higher percentage of the time. I've been playing with Linux since the 90s, so a pretty long time. But working in the industry, I can tell you with other people using computers and having to support people, Linux on the desktop is still probably, unfortunately, not possible. But as an alternative, I thought, well, hey, why don't we, try something a little bit different? In the past, we have gone so far as to create dual boots, which is always fine as well, in a way. Right, so you have both there. You can just reboot and go into Linux and then reboot and back into Windows. But the problem there is you go into Linux and you start using it a little bit, and then you don't have that thing you want. You could probably figure it out. Maybe it's a driver issue, maybe it's a software issue, maybe it's a software that you're used to using in Windows, and there's probably an open source software out there somewhere, but you just don't feel like taking the time to go hunt it down. So you flip back into Windows and you use the software, and then after a time you just never go back to Linux again. And so that's been kind of my situation over the past 20 some years doing this. And so now I really want to give it a better chance. So what my idea is, and since we're into all this manufacturing, robotics, electronics, technology, blah, 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 right, I want to take if you look at this, hands for scale, this is a mini ITX motherboard. What the plan here is we're going to build up a pretty decent, I think it'll be fairly badass computer, and build our own case for it. So, yeah, I know they have mini ITX cases, but the reason we're going to build our own case is because, sneak peek at where we're headed, I have two of these. I have two, and what I'm going to end up doing is putting them both in the same damn box. They're both going to be in the same box. I'm going to have a built-in KVM switch. One small problem that turned into a kind of a cool thing is I can't find a dual monitor KVM switch to be able to switch from two monitors back and forth between it, but that just caused me to say, well, screw it, what I'm going to end up doing is putting in 4 monitors. Now this might sound kind of crazy, but well, maybe it is, I don't know, I'm accepting it, so take that. I have, I'll show you a picture of it later, I have kind of a rack on one of my workstations where I can mount 2 monitors, and there's another set above it that's all ready for another set. And so what will end up happening is I'll have a KVM switch that will just switch my keyboard and mouse over to the up set of screens, and then hit it again, and then it goes to the down. The nice thing I think that's going to be cool about that is I can see both at the same time. So if I want to do maybe video rendering, or I want to be monitoring a network, anything that you want to have just rolling along there, but you're not necessarily using it, I'll be able to see it, and I can just easily flip over to the other computer without interfering with the processes. So I think this is going to be pretty cool. And I thought I would just kind of create a step-by-step process video here to show you what a lot of this looks like. The thing I think is going to be cool about it is there's a handful of new things, and a lot of things that maybe some people out there are not familiar with. Like, for starters, the mini ITX motherboards. I've been building these for quite a while too, but they are kind of unique to most people. Memory, nothing terribly special there. DDR4, but whatever, new RAM of the day. This is cool. This is the first one of these that I picked up. This is my hard drive. Look, looks just like a hard drive, right? Now this is an M.2 250 gigabyte SSD hard drive, and there's something also kind of cool about this with this, and I'll show you that in a minute. Intel i5 6500, decent, good, great probably processor. Again, you'll probably catch from this, I don't get too terribly enamored by computer technology. Been doing it for quite a while, but this will suffice. This will be great. So let me grab a knife and we'll start tearing this apart. Alright, so we'll just start ripping this apart. Oh look, no tape. Well, that's easy enough. Chuck this. Ta-da! So, mini ITX, again, hands here. Let me find something else. What do I got near me here? Here's a little knife. This is a very tiny little knife. Look at the comparison. So these are pretty cool. In the past, they've been very limited. This is, of course, it's not the highest end, but you know, wow, it's completely not the lowest end either. Some interesting features about this. It's Intel. This is an LGA, so if you haven't played with these very much, I think this is pretty cool. Let's see if I can get this on video here. So the LGA, the land grid array, they do this kind of backwards. So if you look really carefully, if I can get a shot on that, no, I can't really see it. These are actually little tiny pins inside of there, and when we tear out the processor, you'll see that the backside of the processor is pretty much flat. You catch it in the right light, you'll see it shine. There is no noticeable, you know, bumps on the thing, on the processor. This kind of reminds me of a test jig that you might set up for maybe a PCB that you make with pogo pins coming up, and then you just set the board on top. It's essentially that way. There is a little plastic bit here. You're going to rip this off and chuck that. Oh, it says don't throw it away. Don't throw it away, whatever you do. Okay, well, that's out. So this is going to sit off to the side. We're going to put the processor in here, jab this down, and put a heatsink on it. Over here, here's our DDR4 PCI Express slot over here. Here's some other things that I think are pretty cool. Well, here's our SATA in right there. But check this out. We have our USB 3, so that's kind of neato, so I don't have to flip with the USB. The big thing here for me that I wanted, dual HDMI. So this is going to be piece of cake for the dual monitors. Well, except for the fact that I got to make sure my monitors have HDMI in them. Then look right here. This, so here's another M.2 socket, but this is just for your Wi-Fi. So let's see if I can get that up there. Look at that. Okay, so there's your chip. There's your controller for your Wi-Fi, and in the box, it even comes with a little antenna that you can set up on your desktop. You just screw into here, and boom, there you go. Also has Bluetooth built into it, which is probably nice. So there's that. Really pretty happy with this one so far, right? Okay, so chip next. Okay, we'll get this out of the way for now. Here, set him over there. And there's our processor. See? Hide him in there. Alright, so let's rip him out. Okay, so here's our heatsink. This isn't protected, there's no plastic on there, so make sure you don't go touching the crap out of this. This is your thermal paste. So I'm just going to set this off to the side. This has got a little bit of a unique heatsink fastener here, which we'll explain of course later. So I'll set that, have it right here, and then take this and throw it all away. No, make sure you don't throw it away. Take your processor out. Here you go. If you look over on this side here, you'll find that it does kind of pop open right. Whoops, sorry, stay on camera. Right there, like that. It's funny because out of habit, you're like, okay, carefully knock this thing out and don't touch the pins. Oh, wait, there are no pins here. Okay. See? Nothing. So this is your LGA. This is your land grid array style. Sorry if I'm talking about this like it's some kind of a new thing. I started out a long time ago with Intel, and then I moved like 99, 2000, moved over to exclusively AMD because at that point in time it was cheaper. It wasn't maybe quite as fast, but then they started catching up, but it was definitely cheaper. Then running a large network, you tend to gravitate towards the thing that works, and it helps with upgrades. You know, you don't want to have a whole lot of dissimilar types of computers in your network. So anyways, I'm coming back to Intel now, but the LGA style has been around for a very long time. So there's a processor there. Note the little notches here and over here. That's going to be how we line this up. Set this down over here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and jab this on here. Sorry if you can hear it, but it's kind of pouring down rain here, so sorry for the extra noise. So take your chip here, remember the tabs here, and if we bring this up like this, you can see how that should just drop in there. Pretty basic. Drop this over. Make sure you get it to latch in there. Push this down. Any of you that have never done this before, any of these ZIF type sockets, to somebody who's kind of new, you feel this pressure and you think, oh god, you know, that I don't think that's quite right, but it is. It's a locking mechanism, supposed to hold it down by tension. Boom. You see how I kind of just hook that around there like that. So yeah, that's it. So next is this guy. Can pretty much just take him and just jab him on here like so, but what I would recommend is that you whenever you're doing any kind of a fan on top of a processor here, is look at your power pin here, your plug, and see if you can get it to line up the best you can with the header on the motherboard. So we're going to go ahead and put it this way, as opposed to, you know, something like that. That'd be kind of silly. So you take this, line it up, and crazy difficult, right? So whenever you want to take this out, you can kind of just end up pinching these together to pop out. There's a lot of devices like this, little mechanisms. You just can kind of squeeze them and pull them back up. Now this thing here, what you want to do is give this a little twist. I kind of have a fingernail there. You can just grab it and twist it. If you don't, find yourself just a little screwdriver. Ta-da! Really pretty easy. I mean, computers for the last, I don't know, 20 years have pretty much been Legos. Boom, boom, add them in. Okay, so next is the memory. Okay, so our memory here, G.Skill, Trident Z, DDR4. If you look back here, 3200. There we are. So 2 8 gig sticks, so I have 16 gigs in there. Again, pretty much normal, I guess you'd say, for nowadays. Just grab this. There, sorry. So I like these. These look pretty cool. Kind of a brushed aluminum look there. This side right here. Nice sticker. Yeah. Okay, so this is it's a good heatsink on here. It's hefty. Kind of nice looking. Okay. Put that here. Alright, so we're gonna put this in here. I don't know if I really meant this to be a tutorial or not on how to put a computer together, because I think wow, I mean, who, you know, over the age of what, 6, 7 years old nowadays doesn't know, or at least hasn't, you know, put together a computer with somebody in their life. These are keyed. You can only put them in here a certain way. There's a little bit of a shape difference here on these. So take this and stuff it in, and then you just push down hard. Locks in place. There. Next one in. You don't have to do it in the air like that, but you can just kind of push down, right? Bam. So, cool little beast. Nice. Okay, so, oh yeah, whoops. Make sure you get this thing plugged in. I noticed this on the other one here. It's tight, but you can just get this to go over there, like so. And it's all handled. So that looks great. Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? No. One more thing. So now we got to put in our hard drive. So figure out how to open this thing. The off-camera pile of crap building up. So yeah, I like these. I think these are neat. Bam. 250 gigabytes SSD. Plain, thin, simple, no case, just your M.2 connector here. This right here is to hold it down, you'll see. So we're going to take this and put it over here. Look what they've done. So this here, they didn't have enough room to put this anywhere up here, so kind of a cool idea. Just flip it back here to the back. So then this just sticks in there like so. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this out, take this one screw out right here, put it in, and that's gonna hold that down. So let me grab a screwdriver here. Screw trick. Done. Done. Super complicated, huh? Wow. So that is our mini ITX motherboard, all ready to go. Hard drive in, memories in, processors all in. From here, all we'll have to do is nail it into a case somewhere, give it some power, and I got my 2 HDMI outs, and I'm ready to go. So there's this little guy right here. And here is a little friend right here. What do you think? Not too bad, right? Whee! Cool. Well, thank you. That's it for right now. I will show you more process videos as I come out with them. Probably the next thing will be figuring out what I'm going to do for a case. So that will probably turn into a CATIA 3D design video. And then from there we'll head out to the mill and probably start manufacturing it. So then we'll take these two guys right here and we'll probably make the case out of some plexiglass. You haven't seen the video quite yet, and well, I don't know what year it is right now that you're watching this. But what we do is we'll take some plexiglass and then we'll etch in it on the mill names, logos, motherboard goes here, something like that, right? And then we edge light it with some neopixels and you know, operate it through with a microcontroller of some kind or another. And that's looked pretty cool. We'll probably do that with this. We'll also mill out some aluminum that will, I'm thinking the aluminum will be the place to put the headers for USB and anything else we want to have that we can, you know, jack into SATA possibly or something. So anyways, that's it for now. Hope you like that. I'll see you next time.